The United Republic of Tanzania is a country of 43 million people with an unbroken and proud heritage of nature conservation. Since independence, Tanzania has, in fact, grown its conservation area. Indeed, 40% of the entire Tanzania landmass is under some form of conservation. While Tanzania is totally committed to conservation, the government also has an imperative to meet the demands of economic diversification and the development of our country. The economic challenges that Tanzania face translate into acute and structural human development and social issues. The current average life expectancy of the Tanzania population is 56 years old. The average per capita annual income is $527. 80% of Tanzanian households depend on agriculture as their primary economic activity. Almost half of the population is under 15. Almost 40% of Tanzanian children under the age of 5 are malnourished, placing considerable strain on social services. Extensive exploration identified a significant and world-class uranium deposit on the boundary of and inside the southwestern area of the Selous Game Reserve. Successful development and exploitation of this deposit would have a significant positive socio-economic impact, which will benefit the development of southern Tanzania and the United Republic of Tanzania as a whole. The United Republic of Tanzania intends to mine this deposit whilst preserving the Selous Game Reserve and upholding its status as a World Heritage Site. This requires that adjustments be proposed and agreed upon by the World Heritage Committee. On January the 31st, 2012, the government of Tanzania submitted its second formal application for a minor boundary modification to the Selous Game Reserve and the creation of a buffer zone. Tanzania remains committed to sustainable development and believes that the minor boundary adjustment meets the twin requirements of sustainable conservation and sustainable development.
Huu mradi ni mkubwa na utabadili viwango na mzunguko wa fedha na uchumi wa mkoa wetu. Utachangia sana kwenye uchumi wa nchi yetu, lakini watu walioko na Ntumbo na wanaoishi maeneo yale watanufaika sana kwa kuwepo kwa mradi ule.
So looking at the monetary value and the kind of the money that will be injected from the project itself, let alone the employment, no. Consider the levy that will be paid by the mantra. Of course, it put the council in a better position to address a lot of social and economical problems regarding to improve livelihood of the people in Mtumbo.
If granted, this will allow the development of the Mkuju River project, which meets or exceeds all of Tanzania's stringent environmental, legal, and regulatory requirements. The government is confident that the minor boundary adjustment to the Selous Game Reserve to permit the Mkuju River project will make a significant contribution to the country's development, particularly in its underdeveloped southern region.
The first benefit I'm thinking of is the enhancement of the economy of the country at large, and the improvement of economy in development in the Ruvuma region. And the benefit which many of the simple people here are going to get mostly is through employment. And I'm thinking of the uranium as a source, or it can be a source of industries and factories in this area, this part of the country.
Tanzania believes that the project will not detract from the outstanding universal value of the Selous Game Reserve, and that revenues from the project will assist in improving the management of the property.
Kwa upande wangu naona hakutaathiri kwa sababu eneo la Selous ni kubwa ukilinganisha na eneo ambalo nataka kutengwa ambalo ni chini ya 1%.
In its application to the UNESCO World Heritage Committee for the minor boundary adjustment, Tanzania has done everything required of it by the World Heritage Committee and has worked constructively with all relevant parties, most notably with the WHC and the International Union for Conservation of Nature. The economic and developmental fundamentals of the MRP project are impressive. The project will inject $3 billion into the Tanzanian economy, create over 6,000 jobs in a poor and underdeveloped economy of southern Tanzania, provide improved health and education facilities, and make a tangible contribution to Tanzania achieving the UN Millennium Development Goals.
Tulivyoambiwa kuna mgodi unakuja, tulifurahi sana tupunguze kasi zingine ndogo ndogo ambazo zisizokuwa za lazima kwetu kuzipata. Lakini kwa bahati nzuri Mungu katujalia. Ameleta kile kitu. Sasa na elimu hatuna, kwa hiyo elimu yetu hawatoa go ahead ya kibali. Wangitoa sisi tusiyokuwa na elimu kabisa, tungepambana na hilo.
Kuna faida nyingi ambazo tayari zimeanza kuonekana tokea wakati wa utafiti, uchorongaji, na kwanza kuna kupata ajira mbalimbali hizo, na tunaamini kabisa mradi utakapoanza unaweza ukatoa ajira kubwa sana kwa wananchi na faida kwa ujumla kutokana na kodi mbalimbali.
Tanzania believes it has a compelling case for approving the request for a minor boundary adjustment to the edge of the vast Selous Game Reserve. The recent IUCN-sponsored report highlighted that
the analysis was done in an iterative and consultative manner and is considered to be a rare example of such good practice, which adds considerable value to the EIA. The overall grading of the EIA for decision-making is that it is good.
The Selous Game Reserve is a very sensitive environment, as you can imagine, because it falls under it's a protected area. But we've carried out all the studies that can be carried out. We've assessed all the impacts that are potential to the projects, and we've developed all the mitigation measures that has been checked by all the various regulatory agencies, including the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, that sent in a team of their experts. And the experts have come up with a report which shows that the project or the change of the boundary which we are applying for now could actually enhance the outstanding universal value of the Selous.
The report went on to assert that,
in terms of the outstanding universal value of the Selous Game Reserve, the direct impacts of the uranium mine are likely to be minor, and many measures are being put into place to deal with any such impacts. Properly implemented, the environmental management procedures could actually, in some ways, benefit the Selous Game Reserve.
Uwepo wa mradi huu utasaidia sana kwa sababu katika eneo lililozunguka mradi huo kuna mapitio ya wanyama pori, hususan tembo. Kwa hiyo kuna ujangili mkubwa sana wa meno ya tembo. Kwa hiyo uwepo wa mradi huu utasaidia kupunguza ujangili kwa sababu watu watapata ajira, kipato cha mtu mmoja mmoja kitaongezeka, na hatimaye huduma za jamii zitaimarika na ujangili utapungua katika eneo lile.
Yawezekani na uhakika tutafaidika. Mfano kama sisi hapa Likuyuseka, maji watatuletea tu mantra. Tuna secondary pale, tuna hospitali. Kwa hiyo hawa watu wanaweza kutuleta, au huu mgodi unaweza kutatuletea maendeleo kama haya.
This project commands support amongst all sections of society in Tanzania. There have, for example, been regular site visits to the MRP by senior members of the government, the regional commissioner, wildlife management groups and church organizations. An intensive process of local consultation has been conducted and is ongoing.
Mahusiano ya kwa maana serikali ya wilaya pamoja na wenzetu ambao wanaoendesha huo mradi kwa maana ya Mantra for Tanzania Limited ni mazuri sana. Tunaendelea nao vizuri na kwa kweli kumekuwa na ushirikishwaji wa hali ya juu. Na tuna utaratibu pia kwa tunapata progress report kila baada ya miezi mitatu kujua nini kinaendelea na shughuli gani wamefikia wapi kwenye utafiti wao. Kwa hiyo mahusiano kwa ujumla mbali na serikali ya wilaya lakini na wananchi ni mazuri sana.
Mantra walituchukua, mimi na wajumbe wangu tulifika mpaka kule. Tukaelimishwa kuhusu ile mgodi ambao unataka kuanzishwa kule. Kusema ukweli tulifurahiwa na shughuli ambazo zinaendeshwa na utafiti ambao unafanya Mantra.
The IUCN-sponsored report concluded.
In our discussions with local people, they were pleased with their relationship with the developer and seemed dedicated to conserving wildlife and addressing any problems that may arise. This seems an excellent example of how to build a positive relationship with the communities that are located adjacent to a World Heritage property.
Mimi kama mimi pamoja na wananchi kwa jumla tunawaomba wenzetu watu waidhinishe watupe kibali kutokana na hali ngumu tuliyokuwa nayo ili na nchi hii ipate kusonga mbele kimaisha.
Tunachowaomba hao wanaotoa kibali waweze kutoa kwa uharaka na wanakijiji sisi tuweze kuepukana na umaskini.
My opinion is to appeal to any person and any organization responsible to help us and facilitate that the project takes off as soon as possible.
Please support Tanzania's request to the World Heritage Committee and let Tanzania grow.